Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast with me, Alex Whiteley. And today we're bringing an episode that I'm really excited to share with you guys because I feel like we're talking about something that's a little bit misunderstood, and I feel like this is a really good discussion about that kind of thing. And it's about self-improvement. We're talking about Botox, and we're talking about the improvements that people can make on faces if that's what you choose to do. Obviously, this is it's a subject that, you know, like I said, it can be misunderstood. So we're going to be speaking to Lorraine from Global Aesthetics. Thank you, Lorraine, for agreeing to come on the podcast and talk. It was really good, actually. We had a really nice chat. So that's what you got to look forward to. But before we get into that episode, I want to tell you guys about what's going on with our brand new sister podcast. And that is Biscuit Behind the Boom. This is a podcast that's features the discussions about the inner workings of TV, movies, theatre and music, culture, the arts. It's all what I love. I love these kind of things. I wanted to venture outside of the SY to discuss these things and open up to a sort of broader audience. So we kind of like a little bit of swearing down again, you know, nothing serious. I'm not going to be discussing like really bad things, but we just wanted to be able to have a bit of fun. So Biscuit Behind the Boom, as of this afternoon, episode 1 will be out now, and that features legend of the movie scene, Mick Strawn. Mick Strawn is a friend of mine. I love him to bits. He is a ball of charisma and energy. He worked on the opening sequence to Blade. He worked on the 1994 Fantastic Four movie. Boogie Nights he worked on. Nightmare on Elm Streets 3 and 4, along with the TV show. And once he was attached to Nightmare on Elm Street, he was there for a long time. Mortal Kombat, he worked on so many things. So Mick Strawn is a great first guest, and we've got lots more to come. We are working hard to get that going, as well as the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. So we've got loads going on. It's a good feeling to be diving, sort of into lots of creative work. If you know me, you know the podcast, you know this is where I thrive. So anyway, back to the Shrewsbury Biscuit now. This is a great episode. Please stick around at the end so we can have a bit of a catch up and talk about that things that are to come. To anybody that's been trying to hit me up on Instagram over the last couple of weeks, apologies for not getting back to everyone soon. I had some time off work so I could go to Denmark, to Copenhagen, which was really, really cool. We did like 3 days in Copenhagen and a day in Malmo in Sweden, doing the touristy stuff. I hate being a tourist, but you got to do it. You know what I mean? If you want to go places, I got some fun stories to share about that. Maybe that for another time. So my Instagram's just looking absolutely crazy at the moment because we got like the Shrewsbury Biscuit stuff. I got their Biscuit Behind the Boom stuff, and there's also stuff from our trip from Copenhagen. And also, actually, yesterday we went to watch Gladiators in Liverpool, so I shared some of that as well. So my Instagram's looking a bit here, there, and everywhere at the moment. Anyway, on to current topics. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lorraine from Global Aesthetics. Hope you enjoy this one, and I'll catch you guys at the end. Enjoy. Right, so we've got a great guest today, and I've got to say thank you as well, because this is very short notice that we've done this. But Lorraine from Global Aesthetics, thank you so much for coming on the Shrewsbury Biscuit today. We planned this like last night.
Yeah, literally.
It just opens up sometimes with my work schedule. Sometimes I've got a bank sort of episodes so I can drop them out for the week. And so I did that last week with 3 episodes, realised I had gaps, and I was like, oh God, I need more. So thank you so much for doing that today for us.
It actually popped up on the Shropshire Women in Business group, and I thought, perfect. I don't schedule much in on a Monday, so the rest of the week's crazy. But yeah, it popped up on there, so you can thank them.
I wonder who that was then. They're great guys. Camilla, maybe it was Vix. Maybe she's in there as well. Those guys are incredible though, what they're doing.
I've recently joined, and I'm really finding it's a major help.
I think it's just nice to be around a sort of collective of people that are similar mindset and doing similar things, I guess.
Yeah. I think the problem with running businesses is we're sort of very much on our own at times, and it's nice just to have that base of people that you can draw from and sort of get ideas from and things like that. So it's very good.
I don't think people realise the kind of intricacies when it comes to running a business. I mean, the Shrewsbury Biscuit used to be a CIC. I didn't have an awful lot of help. I had a little bit of help, but not a lot. And so, like, when you're going through company's house and you're doing all that jargon, you're like, do I click that one? Is it that one I click, or is it that one? It's nice to be able to be like, yo, has anybody done this before? And they can help you out.
Exactly. So it's brilliant, to be fair, but no, it's a very good group.
Yeah, huge shout out to Shropshire Women in Business, amazing people. But we need to find out about you, Lorraine. Our story. Our goal is to tell the story of a name above a door. So, Lorraine, where do you start life? Where do you hail from originally?
I'm from Essex originally, so I moved up here in like 2011 with my children. Yeah, the sort of where I grew up and things like that. It wasn't the greatest. So we moved up here, obviously, to give the kids a better life, and yeah, it's worked out a treat.
Yeah, I was the same. I mean, say I'm the same. I kind of like my background is Telford, Wrexham, and here, then Telford, and here. So it's not far, but it's just mad how a short distance can make.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy, the difference between the two towns.
Yeah. What was the area like when you grew up? Where you grew up in Essex? Was it big, built up? Was it kind of rural? What was it like for you there?
No, it was quite rough where I grew up. So it was very much a community, But yeah, it wasn't the sort of place really that I wanted my children to grow up in.
Yeah, understood.
And when they got to like 9, they were 9 and 11 when we moved up here. We had family up here, and yeah, they're both wonderful people. They've made me a grandma twice. So my daughter is a speech and language therapist at the hospital. My son runs a.
Did you say grandma? Don't believe it. I don't believe it, Lorraine.
It's not fair, is it? That's why I do what I do.
Well, I mean, I work with young people, and I say to them all the time, they always go, how old are you? And I'm like, how old do you think I am? And they always go like, up. And I'm like, I'm still in my 30s, man. I'm just like, got that silverback gorilla thing going at the moment at an early age, which I kind of like. I like that.
If anybody asks me that, I'm like, I will definitely offend you. So that's not, it's not okay. Especially with men, it's more difficult. I think women, it's easier to read, but with men, it's much more difficult. So
I think it has to be like what today I'm freshly groomed. I'm looking quite good. I've done my hair. So I feel like I'm looking good today. Whereas on another day, it might be like, whoa, what is it? Never mind. How old is it? Like,
I always say I flip between homeless and barely acceptable. Like there isn't much between. But no, it's a lovely way to be, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Get groomed, get sorted, and get on with your day, isn't it?
You do feel confident. I do feel a lot more confident when I've, done my hair. I took my son to have his hair just done now, which is why we're running a bit late today. Trying to get a 10-year-old out. He's in holidays mode, so he's kind of like, oh, in a minute.
It's so slow, aren't they?
And we went to Star Barbers and Marble. He's been going there since he was like tiny. Wow. So they've seen him grow up, and he wanted his hair like he's got his favorite musician Ren, and he wanted his hair just exactly the same. So I'm showing this barber like this photo of this rapper. I'm like, he wants it like that. Like, yeah. So he's come up the barbers like with a swagger. I think
exactly.
I think the point we're trying to make is that confidence is everything, right?
Well, it is, isn't it? And it's a very, very personal thing, isn't it? It's not like, I mean, I've never got ready and thought, well, I need to look good for everyone else. It's like, how do I feel today? And it's very much like a personal thing, I think. Yeah. I mean, I always feel 100% better when I've put my makeup on and done my hair. But
me too.
It doesn't always happen, but I'm good with it. You know what I mean? I'm good with it either way. But it is nice, and it is definitely a personal thing. And I think, especially as we get older, we look in the mirror and we feel the same inside. I don't think we really age inside, do we?
No.
But our skin and our faces, our bodies can let us down. And I think having those tweaks that can really, really sort of like push the clock back, but without anyone knowing exactly what you've had done, that's where I live, you know.
It is nice, and I guess it's a misunderstood sort of industry. You get the positive comments and the negative comments. I've heard both, but like to put into perspective, we were at the Shropshire Wellbeing Festival a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about Reiki, something I don't really understand, but it makes people feel good. That's their job. That's the industry they're in, is making people feel better. So it doesn't matter if you don't understand it. If it helps people, it helps people. And that's it.
I think the problem with the industry is it's got such a bad reputation, and rightly so in some cases, but there are so many practitioners out there that are adhering to like the highest standards and the best sort of things for their clients. I mean, I'm quite holistic in the process that I sort of follow now. I specialize in like full face rejuvenation. So rather than just doing individual treatments, which can often highlight other issues, I work on like a treatment plan. So it'd be sort of 4 or 5 treatments, but when you start to when you finish is like night and day. Yeah. But there's certain things that I incorporate now, such as sort of skin improvement, sort of underneath, like improving the individual layers of the skin and the collagen and everything like that, before we go in to do anything that's sort of going to reshape the face. But it is always about adhering to that person's anatomy and not trying to change what they've got. And I think that's the key. And a lot of my clients are just like, we don't tell people what we've had done. They just think we look amazing. And I'm just like, that's fair enough, but it's about being responsible and really sort of researching who you're going to go to, ensuring price has to be the last factor in the decision making.
It's got to make sure that it's right for them, because they could be making the decisions for the wrong reasons, I guess, maybe, or maybe they got a misinterpretation of what beauty is. I don't know where that comes from, but like my wife's South American, she's from Colombia, and the culture for aesthetics is massive in South America. Huge. I won't say who, but we know lots of people that have had work like this done, and you wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell. But that's
the beauty of a good practitioner.
Yeah. It's amazing. Is this something that you've always done? Where does this start for you? Where do you think, oh, this is definitely, I'm good at this. I want to do this.
Do you know what? I've always been interested in the industry. And if I had probably worked harder at school, I probably would have loved to have been a plastic surgeon. But it wasn't until I got to the point where I thought I need some help with my face now. Like as you age, obviously we've got an intricate knowledge of sort of where everything is within our own faces. And as that starts to change, it can really affect your confidence.
Yeah.
Like it's not even 9 times out of 10 what people would notice, but we notice. And I've always been, my background is management. So I've always been in running different people's businesses, improving standards, being responsible for training. I'm a qualified teacher.
So you're a go kind of person. We're going to go. We're going to do this. I like that. Yeah.
It's got to be the best, or I don't want to know. It absolutely has to be the best. I mean, there are so many people that will do the bare minimum, but the ones that are really, really pushing the boundaries and getting the best results are not going to be the ones that are doing £60 lips.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I kind of err on caution when it comes to, like, obviously, like I mentioned the biscuit being a CIC and stuff. Like, I pulled the plug on that because it was just, in all honesty, I couldn't be asked. It was just too much work, and I was like, I just want to sit behind the microphone and talk. If I could do this for a living, then I would. But like at the moment, I'm kind of just doing this because I like it, and I feel like when you're passionate about something and you do it well, that's when things start to happen. I feel like that's my method of thinking.
Yeah, congratulations on the nomination, by the way.
Oh, yeah, thank you. We didn't win anything, but no, we did really. We were the top 6 in the country, which was amazing to see. And we had that's
absolutely outstanding.
I don't know how it happened, honestly. I feel like the experience I've had over the years, I can feel like I can speak to anybody, and I feel like it's kind of a misunderstood gift, or no, it's an underestimated. It's something that not everyone can do. Is just sit, relax, and talk, and that's kind of sad to think about, but it's kind of true. I mean, yesterday I was speaking to a stunt woman from East London. Today I'm speaking to an actor that was in Peacemaker that's just been released in Hollywood. We're doing some amazing stuff at the moment, which is really, really, really fun. So thank you. I appreciate that.
No, it's fantastic what you're doing. Absolutely fantastic. And I think, as you say, when you are passionate and you understand your craft, if you can just keep going with that. I mean, I've been in aesthetics since 2021. I was working and I sort of self-funded, sort of setting up the business, doing all my training. But very soon after I'd sort of had the basic training, I was like, this is not comprehensive enough for me, for my mind. Like, if I'm going to do it, I've got to do it at 100%. Otherwise, I can't do it, you know? So I've done a lot of extensive sort of additional training, and I work very much, probably a lot differently to most people, to be honest with you, because I don't believe, I mean, social media sort of has a lot to answer for, but on the back of that, there's practitioners that are taking people's money and continuing to inject and inject and inject when that person doesn't need it. And that person then begins to look deformed, but they feel that they look good because that practitioner's saying, oh, you look amazing. Let's stick another 2 million. Thank you very much.
They did that movie. What's that movie they did with David Schwimmer years ago about the plastic surgeons? Because like in the 90s, like the early 90s, they were taking advantage of people, weren't they? And they were making them the Lola Ferraris and the crazy things that were coming out in the 90s where people just like absolutely shouldn't have done that. Like, what are you doing? Like, and I guess lots of lessons have been learned from that, like you said.
I hope so. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are doing an absolutely sterling job, and it's great, you know, but you do have to be mindful of things like, I tend to go a bit deeper with like anatomy and sort of where things are placed. And obviously with the skin improvement, the products that are coming out at the moment are absolutely insane. Like most of them I call witchcraft because it's just crazy how good they are. And what I really want to give people is like really, really long-term improvements.
Yeah.
So it's not a short-term fix, it's a long-term rejuvenation. And I think that even though it's a bit of a process, overall, you're getting the best treatments with the most amount of skill that are going to last the longest without overfilling your face, you know?
Amazing. And when you were training and stuff, did you see lots of things that during that time that you were kind of like, oh, we need to avoid that? I don't want to do that. I see that you're doing that, but I ain't going to be doing that.
Yeah, you do. You do. And very much so when I went for my first treatments as well. The place that I went to and the way it happened and the service and all that was just a little bit lacking. And for me, it was an industry that I've been interested in for so long. But as you say, like you come into an industry that's got not the best reputation. It's very, very difficult when you say to people, oh, I'm in aesthetics, they're like, ugh. But the people that I deal with and I treat, like you don't see exactly what they've had done.
No, I think we're all guilty of that. We see people with the, like you said, they've had extensive work done, and you can tell. I think society as a natural order will kind of go, look at that. I mean, that's kind of what people do, right? So we see that, and I've been guilty of it. We all do it. I'm not the type of person to point and laugh at someone. It's none of my business. Crack on. You do your thing, I'll do mine, right? But like you said, this is about offering people a way to feel. I mean, years ago we interviewed Manola Moss, who does like eyelash extensions, and we did a great podcast with that. I've spoken to beauty salons, beauticians, and hair. I love stuff like this because it means that there is somewhere to go for someone to make themselves feel better about them. And if there's someone like you, Lorraine, that's like offering, like you said, a holistic approach where it's like, actually, let's have a discussion first, and see what's not just right for you but ethical too.
Absolutely. I mean, ethics is massive for me. I mean, I'm very, very comfortable saying no. If I don't think it's the right treatment or I don't think that they need it at that point, I might offer something completely different, but I will never apologize for saying, no, you don't need it. Or that's not the right treatment for you. Or, I mean, for instance, like we get these lines around our faces and sort of more inexperienced injectors will just feel here. But when you go into like the advanced training, we understand then that the support comes from the top, not the bottom.
Okay.
So it's things like that where people go, oh, I need these lines filling. Well, actually, no, you don't. what you need to do is put the structure back into your face, and it's having that knowledge really. And as I say, like I've introduced sort of major accreditations into different businesses and sort of always been one for training and raising standards. And yeah, if you're going to do it properly, innit?
Can you remember the first person you ever helped? Your first customer? And what was that like as an experience as your first person?
The most nerve-wracking experience ever, and he wasn't the easiest. But I absolutely love it. Like, so yeah, it was he was very demanding, shall we say?
And that's not, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. When sorry, I think there's a bit of a delay. I think my lad's probably downloading something on his Xbox or something. I don't know what's going on, but it's I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. When you're thrown into a difficult situation when you first start, it's like, oh, this is a baptism by fire. It's incredibly difficult,
Literally.
but it will help me going further down the line. Or let's gently dip our toe into the water. Which one's better? Do you know what I mean?
He was a long-term client, so even though he gave me grief, he still came back. Still comes back now. So
that's good.
It's one of them, isn't it? I'm to be honest with you, like I mean, over the years, like I've dealt with so many different types of people, sort of from staff to management to directors to sort of officials. And I think if you can hold that conversation and explain what you're doing and why. Like they can only be arsey for so long to somebody that's being nice to them, you know. Kill them with kindness
and know what they're doing, because I guess there's lots of I don't know, maybe do-it-yourself kits out there and ways that people think they can do it themselves without the knowledge. And what, like you said, you talk about the support coming from up here. They may not know that knowledge, or you know, I guess have you seen people that come in and gone, I've messed my face up and can you fix me?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. You will always get people that are just like, can you help because this has happened? And it's a shame. It really is a shame. But I think the problem with the industry as a whole is, as a customer or as a potential client, we price it. We put it in the line of buying shoes or buying clothes. We want a bargain. And we only get one face. So if you're taking a chance with somebody that's doing it probably half the price that maybe I do, or if it's £60 lips, or if it's £60 toxins or whatever, like anti-wrinkle treatments, like they are making a profit somewhere along the line. And I've done a video about this recently, and it's like, even though they may be really cheap, they still know how to make a profit from you. So what are they compromising on in order to make that profit?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it goes without saying that you got to be able to, and I guess social media is a big prop for that. I mean, we were seeing it now, aren't we? With they call it turkey teeth and turkey hair. I'm follically challenged. I'm very happily follically challenged, by the way, because it takes me very little time to get out. I go in the shower, bit of oil in the beard, and I'm out. Right, it's easy. I love it. Right, I streamlined as well, so I'm super quick. You know.
In and out.
I don't mind that, but there are people obviously that want to change that about themselves, and I totally understand it, by the way, because I look badass in a wig and a hat. I do wear my hats, but that's more because I like hats. I'd probably still wear them if I had hair. In fact, I did. I've been wearing hats since I was a kid. But
I love a hat, especially in the winter. I love it.
But yeah, there are people out there who will take the short route, in the cheaper route. And social media spreads like wildfire, doesn't it? I mean, Turkey, everybody's going to Turkey. They wouldn't know that if it wasn't for like social media.
And if you see the problems that certain people are having now with those implants and that, and they're not getting any support from abroad. And I mean, I've got friends on my Facebook that are having real big problems with them now. Yeah. And it's having somebody that you can go back to. I think that's the thing. I mean, you hear a lot of horror stories about people sort of having complications and then that practitioner blocking them and they're stuck. They don't know what to do. Like, even, dare I say it, medical professionals, like, I'm not from a medical background, but medical professionals get much less training than like people like me do. Like, they don't get trained in complications. So even though you think you're doing a really good thing going to a nurse or a doctor, unless they've specifically requested it, they don't understand how to treat complications.
Oh, wow.
And that's terrifying.
I mean, it is. I'd love a new set of gnashes. I really would. That's probably one thing I'd change about myself. But I wouldn't necessarily go all the way to Turkey to do that, because it's a huge procedure to have. I mean, like, hair transplants I don't think people realize how gnarly a hair transplant is. Yeah, so I would probably have to save up and get it done. I say properly. I mean, why do they go wrong in Turkey? Do they use like a cheaper product? Is it that they're not sanitary enough? I mean, what are the problems that you may have heard of? Is there anything that you springs to mind?
It's very, very difficult to tell. I mean, I don't delve too much into like that side of things, but you see people coming back with all these teeth. I mean, if there's any infection or anything doesn't heal correctly, they won't touch you here. They'll just say you need to go back to Turkey.
Oh, God.
And if you can't get that cooperation from them, you are really stuck, like really stuck. I mean, one of the girls on my Facebook was on the BBC recently talking about the experience that she's having. And she's having an awful time with like infections and being able to breathe, and they've had to take them all out. And yeah, it's not as much of a quick fix as what people are led to believe, I think.
It says here that this is due to unskilled technicians, like you said, performing the procedure, poor hygiene, leading to infection, and aggressive techniques that cause over-harvesting from the donor site. Yeah. So I'm not saying that it's, obviously there must be good places. And don't come after me, Turkey. All right. I'm just saying.
It's not that though, is it? It's not that. It's about doing your research.
Doing it right, like you said. If you're going to do it 100%. Do it correctly.
Absolutely. And it's very nice to say don't factor in price. I think we all have to factor in price, but you have to understand what it may cost you to repair if something goes wrong. And how much would you be prepared to pay for somebody to correct a massive problem with your face?
Exactly. And when did you say you opened your salon, your studio?
Back in 2021.
2021, so 4 years ago. That's on the tail end of the pandemic. How did you plan a business during the pandemic? That sounds incredible.
I worked all the way through the pandemic.
Yeah, me too.
From home in my pajamas, I'm not going to lie. But I was managing half a security company. I've been in operations for God knows how long. And obviously, while I was working and being paid, but not being able to spend it, I was like, great. So as soon as we were allowed out, I went and did my training. And I just get fed up of like, I've spent so many years making money for other people. And it's really nice to be able to just do that for myself, you know? So, yeah, I self-funded it, did all my training, funded everything. I've got the clinic set up at home. And, yeah, it's wonderful. I love it. Like, I haven't looked back. I'm based at home. I've got a purpose-built clinic indoors.
Oh, that's really cool.
Well, it's not quite as obvious either, is it, for people coming in and out, which I like.
Yeah, that's good. And, do you struggle? Is it nice to have, because, sometimes when you work from home, it can be a bit like, but like if you've got your place out, space outside, you've got work and then home. I mean, is that a challenge for you sometimes?
Do you know what? When I'm finished, I shut the clinic door and I will leave it there. But the thing that takes up most of my time is social media.
Yeah, me too.
It's just a minefield, isn't it? Like, absolute minefield. And you try and put a post on one day and then they change the way you have to do it the next day. And it's like...
yeah, it's something I'm working hard on at the moment, because not winning the award when I feel like, I'm not saying we should have, but I'm saying like I've been doing this for a long time, and I feel like maybe because I'm in auto drive at the moment. Sorry to waffle on about myself, but it'll round up. Like I feel like my social media, I kind of take it for granted. I just post when I release episodes and all that sort of stuff, and it kind of becomes mundane, doesn't it? Like so now what I've decided to do is every single Monday we will have a new episode. Every single Monday without fail, and then that will follow with social media content, and then there's the bonus content that we do as well. So there's lots of effort going into my social media and my actual content at the moment, which will improve my meta score, which will then hopefully help people find me, because it is that complicated, folks. It really is, isn't it?
It is. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm obsessed with my professional dashboard. Like, I watch when my reach goes up, when my reach goes down, and I'm looking what I'm posting, what's more interesting, what's more relevant. But again, you have that thing, don't you? It's like nobody thinks they're perfect. Like there's a lot of videos on my phone that will never see the light of day. Trust me.
I downloaded Snapchat yesterday again, but for the first time since 2020, right? And I've immediately had my friend Moose Cooper. Big shout out to Moose Cooper. I'm not adding you on Snapchat, buddy, because I get it for the camera and the stupid little lenses and stuff you can have. That's it. Like I ain't gonna be doing none of this on Snapchat.
I do not understand Snapchat.
You know, it's literally just, it's so like, it's very, I mean, I can't believe it's still going, to be honest, in all honesty. But it is just for young people having fun. It is fun. I mean, there are some great like cameras and stuff on there, some lenses and AI stuff that you can do. That's fun. And that's what I got it for, really. I posted one yesterday. That's how I got you on the podcast, is I put a wanted poster of that $1 million for being cute. I don't know what it was, but it's just fun, isn't it?
Absolutely love that. Brilliant.
So when does your business kind of tick over by itself, or do you have to put the effort into bringing the clients? How does it work for you at the moment?
It works very well. It does work very well. But again, I still feel like I'm very much under the radar. But I've enjoyed being under the radar because like it's given me time to hone my skills and continue my training and really be sort of confident about what I want to achieve and what I want to say as a business. And it is all about that level of ethics. Like you've got to have an off button and a no button and a button that isn't. When I came into this, I didn't want it to be driven by money and profits. I wanted it to be driven by somebody waking up in the mirror or waking up and looking in the mirror and saying, I feel so much better for that. And it's very, very like, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't work full time. I mean, I've done the whole 90-hour week thing, so I don't tend to sort of be fully booked. But again, it's word of mouth, isn't it? It's the way people talk, people ask. But a lot of my clients are like, they will just let people stew on why they look so amazing, which is great, you know?
Like I said, you know, Timmy walking out of Star Barbers today looking like Ren in his own mind. You know what I mean? Just that little feeling of like, yeah. You know, that's the feeling that people get. That's what it's worth. I mean, when someone can stand up and feel tall, I mean, like, I don't know, man. I've gone for a real curve with my own imagery, I guess, because I put a bit of weight on, I'll lose it, I'll put a bit of weight on again. And like, that's just like, I got to a point where, do you know what? Don't care anymore. Yeah. And just switching that off in my mind has made me walk a bit taller. Do you know what I mean? And maybe that makes me a bit more, I don't know, I don't need to be attractive. Married. Yeah, I mean, none of that matters, but I think it just makes you feel a bit better. I think that makes you come across a bit better and people are more approachable, I guess.
Yeah, I think as we get older, especially for women, it's like we buy the next skin cream and we buy the next foundation and we wear more makeup, and ultimately none of those things really work long term. So, I mean, some of the products that I work with now, like polynucleotides and stuff like that, I mean, they are changing the game in skincare. Like, you cannot buy in a bottle what we can put in, but things like polynucleotides don't change or add or freeze anything on your face. They literally just work underneath the skin. And it's amazing at the difference it can really, really make long term, you know, because that's what everyone wants, isn't it? The long term fixes.
I mean, so I used to do keto a little bit. For about 18 months I did that, and it was a lifestyle choice. It wasn't really a diet or a quick fad, but you'd see a lot of people going, oh, I'm going to Benidorm in 6 weeks, let's jump on keto for a little bit. Really bad for you. That's really, really bad for your body. So sometimes a short-term fix can be really, I wouldn't say dangerous, but like, yeah, not good.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I've always had issues with body image. Do you know what I mean? I've literally got every size of clothes in the loft you would not believe because I'm such a yo-yoer. But I came to the conclusion probably not so long ago, really, that having that internal dialogue that's positive and not restricting yourself. And because the minute you say, I'm not going to do something, that's all you want to do, isn't it? I'm not going to eat that chocolate bar. So what do you think about all day? It's like
Yeah.
You've got to be nice to yourself and you've got to be kind. My lad was doing it the other day. I took him around to McDonald's and they've just had a little one and he's there with his calorie counter. I've just eaten 2,500 calories. I was like, why are you beating yourself up, mate? Like, honestly, the restrictions that we put on ourselves and the expectations we put on ourselves only ever leads to disappointment.
Do you think that's maybe because of the way social media at the moment, do you reckon that's a catalyst for a lot of the way people feel about their imagery?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Instagram era. The Instagram, everything's perfect on Instagram, isn't it? You know.
Filters have got a lot to answer for. Like, I don't use any filters. I very, very, very rare you'll see a filtered photo of me because I just think if it's not fit to post, then I probably won't post it, you know. But it is. It's we all do this, and I think especially like you, Alex, when we put ourselves out there, you then open yourself up to criticism, don't you?
Absolutely, Mr. Potato Head.
But you. Not at all.
But I feel like it is when you wear your heart on your sleeve on such a public scale, it can be quite daunting. More like because my wife was like, "Oh, should we get like a thing for your car that says the Shrewsbury Biscuit?" And I was like, "Oh." But then people will be able to see when I'm driving like a knob. I don't drive like a knob, but there'll be that one time when somebody's like, "Oh my God, that's a Shrewsbury Biscuit guy." That's what I think about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mental. Like nothing is free of being recorded nowadays, is it? I mean, I'm 46 and yeah, there's no evidence of what I got up to when I was younger. But the pressures that I think people live in nowadays, it's like every picture is filtered, every picture is altered. There's no such thing really as sort of genuine imagery, I don't think. I mean, there should be, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't use filters for my clients. I don't use filters for myself because I just think it doesn't help in the long run, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't, because then people are like, Alex Whiteley's gone missing today and we cannot find him. Where has he gone? And they're like, I don't know what he looks like. He keeps, I think I put a picture on my my own personal story about, I think it made me look like a zombie with hair. And I was like, oh, that's funny. That's about it. That's what you get from me. I'm just looking at your treatment packages online. I thought I'll have a quick peruse. It's quite extensive what you offer. Did it always look like this, or were there things that you've gradually added on as you've gone along? What did you start off with? You know,
I think I started off where everyone else started off, with sort of individual treatments and just thinking about sort of usually the forehead, sort of bit of filler here and there. Like, I knew how to do all the basic treatments, but it became very apparent to me very early on that wasn't really the best way to treat the face. And I came across this 8-point facelift, and it's kind of like, the way I explain it is it's the least amount of filler with the biggest amount of skill. But like over time, like I've incorporated sort of different things into the packages, sort of like the polynucleotides, to really improve the skin before we do any restructuring at all. And even though I've got quite a long list on my packages, like I do genuinely just focus on sort of full skin rejuvenation. So it's a process from start to finish. And my skills kind of lie between like the 45 to 65 area.
Yeah.
They're the sort of people that I like to treat, sort of people that are comfortable coming in for more than one treatment. And yeah, generally just sort of I've refined what I do, even though stuff's available. It's even though people can think they need one treatment, it might end up that they need something completely different in order to get the result they're looking for. So I do sort of, everyone gets a consultation, like we have a long-term consultation, medical forms, all the rest of it. I have a long chat with the clients about actually what they're trying to achieve and why. And it's one of those things where you learn so much about people.
I imagine. Yeah. Because it can be quite a touching conversation to have.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Very
and like
personal.
when you're giving someone a mirror and saying, what would you change? Like, you're listening to the dialogue that they're using. I mean, if it's evident that they've got any sort of body dysmorphia or anything like that, you would err on the side of caution if you were going to treat at all. Like, people with health anxieties and things, if you're not doing that in-depth sort of consultation in the first instance, you're not going to find things like that out.
No.
So I never treat on the same day. Like if you're a new client, you would never come into the clinic, have your consultation, and then we would do your treatment straight away. I just don't do that.
Okay, that was one question I was going to ask you. Is that what, as a new customer, what would I expect to see? So we'd have the consultation. You then send me home to think about it, think about what we talked about.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I am one of these. I'm like, this is what I want to do. Go and do your research. So I will provide a treatment plan and a schedule and sort of decide what I think is going to be best for that client. But like I want to give them the time and space to be able to ask questions that they wouldn't necessarily think of on the spot. And it's very, very important to me that people understand what treatments they're having as well. Like it's got to be, I like the fact that they can go away and look at what I'm saying, look at what I'm suggesting, and then come back and fire anything at me before they come in for their first treatment, so they feel very informed. I think that's the thing, they feel very informed.
Yeah.
And that gives them confidence as well.
I bet you see people come in as one person and out as another, right?
Yeah, you do.
I was just going to say, one of my friends, good friends, has had work done, and he showed me pictures of what he looked like when he was younger and what he looks like now, and he was like, I'm a completely different person to that person in that photo. And the swagger on this guy, like, you'll know him. I'll tell you off air who he is, and maybe you'll know him. But the swagger on this guy, you can definitely tell that that procedure or what he had done helped him immensely.
Exactly. I mean, one of my lovely ladies, she's been with me for quite a while now. We finished a couple of months back with her. She, pardon me, split up with her husband some time ago, but bumped into her brother-in-law. And she'd already sort of finished her treatment plan. And he was like, bloody hell, you look so good. You look amazing. And she was like, that's just the pinnacle of satisfaction. Like, that is the picture. Like, she messaged me straight away. She was like, I've just bumped into him. And he said, I look what? Like, and she didn't feel like that when she started, Yeah. And you see her, like, I mean, there's so many people, like, they walk around and there's just, you can just tell. You can tell that the confidence is back. And you see the makeup reduce, and I mean, men particularly as well. I think they're not as confident as to go into sort of treatments and things like that, but they should be. They really should be.
I bet that's changed though, because there's like a metrosexual vibe going on at the moment, isn't there, with a lot of guys?
Yeah, there is. I mean, people are very open about what they have done. I mean, I'm very open about what I do, sort of to myself and things like that. I don't really care what people think. But like it's a process, and I think to have that confidence in your injector, to know that they're not going to destroy your face, or you're not going to look like some of the people on social media, and that they know how to deal with any eventuality. I think finding that is quite difficult at times, but once you do, you've got to sort of hold on to that, I think.
Yeah. And what's the ripcord moment for you? The moment when you're like, nah, this is too much. Like, what the signs you look for when you're like, nah, I think we need to stop here?
I think when they say my boyfriend thinks, or my husband thinks, or my wife thinks I should, and then when they're talking about this, like, I hate this about myself, hate that, but you get a vibe. You get a vibe. I mean, over the years, I've done sort of a lot of vulnerability training and things like that. So mental health awareness, I'm fully sort of equipped in that area. So I do really, really listen to what people say. And I had one girl that came and she was like, she wouldn't show me a picture of her lips before she came. And she came from Welshpool on the train. And I was like, come on, you're going to have to show me these pictures. No, my camera's not working. I was like, okay, fair enough, come in. So she comes in with the most filler in a set of lips that I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, I can treat you, that's fine, but we need to get rid of all of that and start again. She's like, no, it needs to be bigger in, it needs to be bigger then, it needs to be bigger. And I was like, you're not going to achieve that by adding and adding and adding. You've got to strip it back. Like, people would take that person's money. I sent her home with a flea in her ear. Like, I was like, I'm more than happy to treat you, but not from this point. Like, we have to take it back and start again. Like, dissolving is a very common thing for me now.
it really annoys me. Like, oh, there was a post that went viral, and it's a post from this guy going, my girlfriend's got this apron of a stomach, and is there anything I can do about this to change it? And it was obviously the boyfriend being a bit of a knob, and she had this perfect figure, and I'm like, how dare you speak on behalf of this girl you're with and demand that she change her body for you? Like that for me. I'm a bit of a liberal when it comes to stuff like that. I'm like, wow, no. I think what first things you need to change is the boyfriend.
Exactly. Honestly, I mean, I hate all that. It's like when someone tells you to be normal. It's like, whose version of normal are we actually going by here? Like, who decided what that was? Like, I'm quite happy to just be me and do me. And it's taken a lot for me to get there over the years, you know? But I'm at the point now where I'm just like, as long as I'm happy, we're cool. Like, and it's a much more internal process now, I think. I think when you're looking for outside validation and stuff, it's very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think that's a journey that we all go on. Outside validation. I think when we talked about well-being, like a few weeks ago, I decided that, you know, well-being is like being comfortable in your own skin, right? And it's not just that, not like in the literal sense, but like being happy with who you are. That's what that means, right? So I can walk around with my head screwed on my shoulders, held up high. I am Alex Whiteley. I'm the biscuit guy. I'm doing an amazing job, right? That's great. It's really hard to get to that point. Really difficult to get to that point.
And to stay there as well, because not every day's the same, is it? That's the thing.
You're right.
Not every day's the same. And yeah, it's I mean, I find it like a daily thing. Like if I start to criticize myself, then I start to challenge myself. Well, why am I saying that to myself? Would I be comfortable with anyone else saying that to me in the street? No. So why am I saying it to myself? And that's a daily thing, you know, but it's a nice place to live. Like, I think you choose to be happy. I think that's the difficult thing. And I think that's the thing a lot of people miss. And I certainly missed over the years. Like, happiness is a choice. It doesn't matter what's going on. You choose where you live, you know?
Yeah, it's about giving yourself the permission to be that way, you know, and it's about, I mean, we all have our problems. There's lots going on in my own personal life. I've been through a nightmare over the last 2 years. I've been very vocal about that, but I'm still here. I'm still going. Like, do you know what I mean? Come out the other end of the storm, and now I'm pumping out content, really happy, doing a good job being a dad, I think, you know, got a new job. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. And that's from...
that's it, isn't it? That's all we can do, isn't it? That is all we can do. And I think... very much you have to get good with almost a slight lack of support.
Take off the training wheels. Yeah.
Yes.
Take off the training wheels. What have been the biggest challenges for you since opening up in 2021? Have there been some hurdles that you've had to get over?
I think psychological hurdles very much. I mean, when I retrained, I thought, because I've run other people's businesses for years, I thought my skills are going to be totally transferable. Everything will be fine. I just need to learn how to do my aesthetics. Like the rest of it I can do in a heartbeat. Like I've set up multiple businesses and I just thought those skills would transfer. And then someone says to you, right, now you've got to go on social media and explain what you do. And I'm like, I've done network marketing. Like I used to go live every day. But to me, this is a personal, like emotional thing. Like this is so much more than me just trying to make money.
And you try not to sound like a guy in a market stall either, innit? Right?
Yes. It's so difficult. Like I mean, I'm not the most articulate of people, I would say. Like, but I mean, sort of putting across like your ethics and the fact that these things should come from artistry, not just. I mean, because it is very much an art. Like you are rejuvenating people's faces. And you've got to be extremely knowledgeable to get them to a point where they feel their best. You know, it's a hard one.
That's why I very much jumped at speaking to you today. And you know, we talked about at the beginning that this is a misunderstood industry, and it does offer like good, positive things for people. I like to talk to people and tell their story so that people can see how down to earth and realistic you are about things, right? I remember seeing a post about a girl. She had a nose job, but she had like a hook, like a convex nose, right? So she had like a bent nose, and she had a nose job, and the difference, like in like how she felt about herself, like this isn't about vanity all the time. It's not always about I need to have the big tits and the big lips and the big eye. Like it's not. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, and that's where this global aesthetics belongs in the world, and that's why I'm very positive to talk about it. So
thank you very much. I mean, I absolutely do love it. Like if you could turn somebody's clock back 10, 15 years, like they're going to feel amazing, you know. And it does. It's looking after that person to make sure they don't look like an alien. They look like themselves, but they look like themselves previous. And I think that's where my skills lie, you know.
yeah.
And it's absolutely essential to a lot of people because we lose confidence as we get older anyway. I think that's a natural thing. I think, and when sort of women hit their menopause, like everything changes, like the whole ball game changes and things start dropping on a daily basis. And to be able to have someone that's going to look after your skin and actually get you a long-term fix as opposed to a short-term fix, I think is really, really important.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a great job, Lorraine. Honestly, I think it's great. What's next after what you've achieved now since 2021? Is the idea to grow? Are you happy where you are? Would you like to, I don't know, move out into town? Maybe, I don't know. What's the dream for you?
I think a lot of what I'm doing now, I am expanding. I am sort of expanding into teaching as well, because although I love the industry, I think it's very much, if you don't know how to set up a business, you're never going to be legal. And my background is setting up businesses. So I very much focus on sort of providing support for new practitioners and things like that. So when they're coming into setting up from sort of the health and safety and the ICO and the GDPR and all that sort of stuff, like I like to provide sort of a congratulations, you've qualified, but what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm sort of building sort of digital courses and things like that to really just sort of help people on a longer term basis. Like I love teaching, but I think everything is going online now, isn't it? That's the thing. But I've got a lot of knowledge to share, and I think necessarily I've probably till fairly recently I've just focused on doing the aesthetics, and I've got like 25 years worth of knowledge that I'm putting into my own business, but I'm not sharing with anyone else.
Collaboration is really, really important as well. You know, I mentioned Manola Moss already. Like she does an amazing, incredible job, and I've noticed that she collaborates with other people. So like if she hasn't got time in her schedule, she'll mention another eyelash studio across the way. And I guess that might be. Is that the same for you? Do you speak to other people that do aesthetics? Do you guys buzz off each other? Do you go for coffees with each? I mean, how does that work?
Absolutely. I mean, I've got some wonderful aesthetic practitioner friends. And I mean, one of my oldest friends is a lady that actually did my advanced training. So she taught me all of the advanced stuff. And we've just sort of stuck together ever since. But she's in a position now where she's starting up a business. And she's like, can you help? And I'm like, of course, if you can help me with sales and marketing, which isn't my strong point at all. But it is. It's about, I think it's hard for someone that sets up a business to say, I can't do all of this myself. And necessarily like sort of honing in on other people's skills and having those friendships and those connections and keeping those connections is really, really important, because you never know when you're going to need a hand with something. So, yeah. I have a lot of practitioner friends.
It's nice to be around your people. I mean, that's the one thing I took away from the podcast awards is like, you know, I was being around a bunch of podcast nerds like me that just understand it, you know, being in a room that you can geek out about microphones with. I mean, that's just like something you wouldn't think about. Like, oh, you got an SM58, oh, yeah. Use this. And it's the same with you guys. Oh, what needles do you use, or what do you, oh my god, being able to just absolutely be yourself and just flex. It's like, I compare it to be like Comic-Con, right? Comic-Con, yeah. There might be some geeky person that feels really nervous around people, has social anxiety, but when they're walking around as Batman or Deadpool, they feel like they're 6'5" and they can be around their people. That's the comparison, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of WhatsApp groups, and I'm very much a sort of sit back and wait person. So when there's a new thing come out, or I'll sit back and wait and see how well it actually does. But like, it's just so nice, isn't it, to have that level of confidence, you know?
Yeah, I remember a few years ago as well. I spoke to Wendy Renard. She does Renard Cosmetics in Telford. She was doing free nipple tattoos for women that have had surgery. Right, it was just amazing. I was like, I need to speak to you. I bring in microphones to Telford. Let's do this. And she was going to do a knee pull. I thought it'd be really funny to have a knee, like a nipple on my knee, just for a laugh, right? So I can't remember why we didn't do it, but I was down to have this knee pull done whilst we're doing a podcast, you know, like, you know. And then when I go on holiday, my wife's like, "Oh my god." It really is with his knee.
That's for me, and stop embarrassing it.
Yeah. But I just felt like, you know, again, offering services to people, helping them with what they need to do to make themselves feel a bit better.
I mean, that's an awesome thing to do, isn't it? Because I mean, when sort of women go through breast cancer and things like that, I mean, it changes who they are as a person, I think, or what they feel they are as a person. And to have that, to be able to give that back to a person is just, it's priceless again.
Absolutely.
Like, Absolutely. All power.
So like, what's, you know, recently, have you got any, like, any offers coming up? Have you got anything that you want to sort of tell people about the business to bring them to you? I mean, what can we tell that's good about the business to the listeners, to the people?
I absolutely love. I mean, I'm absolutely rammed running up to Christmas. Like, my client base is just, it's going mental. I think since I've been more consistent on social media, but I offer, as I say, the treatment packages. Like, I'm focusing a lot more on the male packages as well. And yeah, if you want to get started and you want that glow up for Christmas, you need to start now. There is no waiting. Like, you cannot do this 2 weeks before your Christmas party. Like, you've got to get in and get your consultation, because I don't do 5-minute wonders. Like, this is a process that's going to build your skin and will last you way beyond Christmas time. But I'm really getting full up now, and it's those treatment plans are really, really important. But yeah, no, it's not something you can think about in a month or 2 months' time, because I just won't have availability. But the packages themselves are amazing. So if anyone wants to discuss them in any way, shape or form, I'm sure they can give me a shout on the Instagram or Facebook. And
you got a really nice website as well, which I'm on at the moment, which is globalaesthetics.co.uk. That's nice and easy, that isn't it? There's no need to put Global Aesthetics Shrewsbury or anything like that. It's straight there. Very good. Yeah.
The Global actually came from a guy that I worked with from like 2019 up until when I left security, really, in like 2023. And his company was called Global, and we ended up working together. I used to sort of liaise with him in my first company that I was with in Shrewsbury. And we ended up working together for like 5 years. And he sold the company. And I was just like, I love the Global thing so much. And it's got so much, like, I learned so much from him as a person. Like, and it's always something that's been, and I was like, I don't want to give that up. Like, that's a nod to what I've learned over the years, you know?
Yeah.
And
global knowledge of aesthetics. There you go. You got this nice big brain of yours. I love that. That's one thing that can never be aesthetically changed, is that brain. I love that.
Oh, don't, honestly. I could do with that some days, but there isn't anything.
Just like an off switch. And then back on again.
Yes. Turn the noise down. That'd be nice.
That was me yesterday, actually. I mentioned that we went to Copenhagen. It was really nice, but we got back yesterday and we were all just like zombies around the apartment. It was amazing just to be like, but I still did podcasts and made content and got a podcast out for this morning. I was like, I'll punish myself. Do you find that sometimes when you're like, when it's your baby and your business, that you just like, oh no, I'm staying up to 1 o'clock editing a podcast, or you're making do a thing, you know?
I literally like have to put it down and walk away, because I mean, even to do one post off the bat, like, it's not just one post, is it? You've got to post it 5 times to different platforms, and like, then you've got to edit it and make it different. And it's just like, you could literally let it take over your life. But I am very good nowadays, I think, because I've been in companies and businesses where it has taken over my life. Sort of, you're getting a call off the night shift at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then the morning shift are calling you at 6 a.m. asking questions. It's like, So I'm very much now, like, I like to take it easy and chill. as much as I possibly can.
You've got to give yourself permission to do that. It's really important to be able to recharge your batteries. But I feel like you're a good person. I think we've done a really good job today. I feel like I never go into these things feeling negative or anything like that. I just feel like I wanted to offer a positive spin on something that, again, like I mentioned, possibly misunderstood. Like, I feel like what you're doing is a good thing, offering people that boost of confidence. I feel like we could all do that. If we all could feel a little bit taller and walk a little bit straighter and feel a little bit more proud about who we are, then that's if that's your process, and that's your process. Whether it's Reiki, whether it's podcasting, the gym, or just a little bit.
What it is, yeah, exactly. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. If it makes you feel good, then you should do it. That's that.
Brilliant. Is there anything that we've missed? Is there anything that you want to say to the listeners before we get out of here? Because we've been going for an hour. How crazy is that?
Is it really? Oh my goodness, it is, isn't it?
See.
No, just obviously get in touch. Get in touch. Have a consultation. I will give you all the information you need. Nobody's under any obligation just because I've had a consultation. Like, I'd rather people sort of contact me and say, I'm thinking of having this done. What do you think? Because I don't mind where you go to have your treatment. I just want you to be having the best amount of knowledge possible about what you're walking into and why. And I think very much that's where the digital products come in. Like, we could start a business either on the right foot or the wrong foot. Where do you want your foot to be? And it's very much the same with the services you offer and things like that. But yeah, we are getting rammed in the run up to Christmas, so don't delay.
Listeners, don't be buying some cheap crap off Temu, right? And complaining when your face falls to one side, right? Go and get it done properly.
Definitely. But it's been lovely to speak to you, Alex. It's been really, really good. Thank
I've really
you
enjoyed
so
this.
much.
Don't go anywhere just yet. What I'll do is I'll kill the recording and I'll say goodbye properly. But Lorraine, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. It's been genuinely brilliant to speak to you today. So thank you for being a great guest.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
And thank you, Lorraine, for being a great guest. I mean, just free-flowing conversation. That's what I love on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. There's no inclination as that anything's going to be controversial. There's no, just sit back and chat. How you been? You been okay? That's what that just was. And every now and again, I get a guest where we sort of gel and just get on afterwards as well, carry on chatting. And that's what's happened with Lorraine. So thank you for being a wonderful guest. And listeners, if you really enjoyed that, give Global Aesthetics a follow on social media. And also, you know, if you're gonna get work done, especially on the power of that episode, let me know and let Lorraine know, because that'll be awesome, because that just shows that I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say, in fact, you know what? I'll double down and say I'm not trying to sell procedures or anything like that. That's not the goal of this podcast. I'm not here to sell products. I'm here to tell people's story, and I feel like we did that today. But if you just so happen to, let me know. That's cool. I just want a quick final shout out very quickly about Biscuit Behind the Boom over the street there. It's brand new sister podcast. If you wouldn't mind, give that a follow as well on Instagram and Facebook. It's there. It's allowed to be shared and stuff, and we're talking about it. And also as well, we're both the Shrewsbury Biscuit and Biscuit Behind the Boom. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, just get it on get the notifications. There's a plus mark, I think, on the Apple Podcasts, and you can favorite the podcast on Spotify too, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And then whenever new stuff comes up, you'll get that notification, which is just lets you know when new stuff. I am trying to work hard to get things released on a more consistent basis, like so I want a Biscuit episode every Monday at a certain time, so we get that consistent base we're running, you know. Also, we've got a couple of guests lined up that are coming on soon. While I was away, my Instagram was blowing up. We've got some things planned, but I want to give a shout out to another local podcast. I love to collaborate with other podcasters and content creators. It makes me buzz. If you can get in a room and just geek out about microphones, content, or whatever, that for me is like great. It's bread and butter for me. So a big shout out to the Shrimp That Talks podcast. I feel like we're about to work together. We've got some great ideas. I think essentially we're going to go for a couple of pints and arm some mics while we do that. I think that's just going to be the best way of doing this. So podcast two podcasting worlds collide. I thought that would go. Guys, I'm rambling. It's I I'm editing this now. It's now 8:15 on a Sunday evening, and I'm going to edit this podcast and get it out for the morning because I'm a warrior, baby. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Lorraine. Please give us socials a follow. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, peace out.